Molière is a Horizon 2020 project. It's financed by EUSPA, the European Union Agency for the Space Program. The main objective of the project is to build a mobility data marketplace, or MDM as we call it in the project, which is underpinned by blockchain technology in order to raise the profile, visibility, availability and utility of Galileo, Europe's global navigation satellite system. There are 4 overall goals for the Molière project: to fuel mobility as a service with Galileo geolocation data, to improve safety and sustainability for the roads, to enable secure payment transaction trusting Galileo geopositioning data, and to nudge a positive behavioral change for users. All these goals will be achieved through the implementation and evaluation of 5 main use cases.
In use case 1, the idea of mobility microincentives was utilized. This pilot was led by DOT, the micromobility provider, together with Keita Mobility Factory and the solution RADIO to manage mobility microincentives. For this pilot, in the city of Brussels, we selected some specific areas in which public transport is not completely available. Discounts were given to users using bicycles and kick scooters from DOT. Whenever they initiated a trip from one of these areas, they got a discount. With this pilot, we proved the idea that mobility microincentives can encourage or can nudge mobility behavior towards more sustainable choices of mobility. Use case 2 was led by Keita Mobility Factory. Using lane patrol, an assessment of the cycling infrastructure safety was performed in the city of Barcelona. Lane patrol is a solution that was developed thanks to the Molière project. This solution comprises both hardware and software. The hardware is a solution that collects georeference images to then use them in the software, lane patrol software, to analyze the safety of the cycling infrastructure. This is based on the CycleRAP methodology, an international standard. In this pilot, just like other pilots in the Molière project, having accurate positioning thanks to Galileo was relevant to validate the initiatives.
Galileo is really important at Molière because their specific characteristics enable all the mobility services and data that are to be input into the mobility data marketplace to be completely accurate, reliable and authenticated.
In Molière, we've built a mobility data marketplace. This is an infrastructure where mobility services can be announced and discovered. And the main novelty of this platform is that it is decentralized, meaning it's not owned by any company or consortium. Instead, its ownership is represented by holding governance tokens. And the holders of these tokens make all the decisions and are the owners in practice of the infrastructure.
In terms of legal challenges, we can say that the main one is related to GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation. However, since we are implementing the blockchain technology, we can definitely say that the data used in the Molière project is pseudonymized, hashed and encrypted.
For demo purposes, we've built Mobility as a Service app that showcases how you can discover, combine, book and pay for mobility services from a variety of providers that are connected to the data marketplace. One of the use cases we have developed is the use of the governance token as a mechanism to incentivize the early growth of the platform. Taking a car-sharing fleet as a reference, we match the data coming from the provider with the data coming from hardware sensors deployed in the cars.
Our role in Molière is to contribute on the development of the data space and also give more engagement to Galileo. The Nemesis use case is about 3 main points. First of them, sharing our authenticated Galileo data with the Molière data space. For the second point, we will be creating a cross-validation tool between our theoretical routes and our actual driven routes. This will prove the number of registered positions by Galileo against other receivers. And for the third point, and related to the second, this tool will also be capable of justifying the number of actual driven kilometers by our buses.
UPC's role in Molière is connected to Galileo because we want to assess its potentialities and the error reduction through high accuracy services as opposed to other conventional satellite constellations. Our use case focuses on public transportation with buses with a view to assess the potentialities of accurate geopositioning systems in a bus line. The goal is to infer kinematic variables such as acceleration, velocities, and then use them to estimate energy consumption in buses.
As Molière partners, we will definitely continue to implement this solution in the Molière project continuation or in other European projects that might be interested in cooperating with the 5 main products of Molière.